Hey guys, so I am Shaniqua Sumter. If you don't know me, I am starting this just a little talk on what happiness is and how to gain that happiness. I feel like there are several steps to take to get to happiness, but I do want to point out that happiness is not a destination. It's a process. You have to take steps towards happiness. Don't just think that once you're making a certain amount of money, or once you are in a certain relationship, once you're married with children, or whatever the case may be, don't think that that is what is going to determine your happiness, because we all know that life happens. And even if you are making a certain amount of money, or in a certain relationship, or doing something, in a place that you've always wanted to be, there's going to be situations that are going to make you unhappy and get you angry, maybe even, and take away that happiness. What you don't want to do is let that hinder you. You want to find out how to maintain your happiness. So, first thing that I wanted to point out with happiness. In order to be happy, you have to find out who you are. Have self-actualization is what I want to say. First, you want to identify who you are, what that means to you, and how you're affecting people that you're around daily. First off, you should always have values and beliefs. You shouldn't be, listening to what other people have to say and being a follower all the time. It's okay to follow when, you're in a situation and you don't know where to go and you need some direction. It's okay sometimes to be a follower, but you don't want to be someone who's just conforming all the time. You want to have your own identity, have your own thoughts, be able to stand up for what you believe in. And that's, just another step to true happiness, because once you have your values and you're standing for something, you will never let anything break that. And when you're not letting anything break that, you're, making yourself happy. You're following what you actually want. So I think that's an important step to take as far as being happy. Also, when finding out who you are, your identity, of course you should listen to what others have to say, but don't listen to everyone. There's some people that will tell you, well, you're no good because of this and that, and you should do this because you're awful at this. Don't listen to people who are trying to tear you down. There's a difference between criticism and constructive criticism. So when people are telling you that what your weaknesses are, and what that actually means, and how that could harm you, and what you can do to correct it, that's constructive criticism. You can listen to those people. Also, most importantly, listen to the people who are being positive. I have about 10 people in my life. Some have known me from from birth, and these people have always followed me in some type of way. And every time I would see these people, or this person, whoever it might be, they would have something positive to say about me. And, from 8 years old and up, they will always have something positive to say. And, at a very young age, when someone's telling you, oh, you are smart, you're this, you're that, you're amazing, you're going to be a great person, it's sometimes kind of uneasy, because you don't really know who you are at 8 years old or younger, maybe not even 18 years old. You don't really know that you have this value, but it's some people that can really see who you are, and they're speaking life into you. It's good to have that positivity around. So keep those people around if you have that. If you don't, then you should probably reevaluate your circle, which is another thing that I want to talk about as far as finding happiness. You want to make sure you're always surrounding yourself with people who love you, who care about you, who care about your best interests. People who are supportive, of course. Everybody needs a support system. I don't care if it's one person or 20 people. It should be someone who is there to always drive you and keep you going. If you don't have that, again, reevaluate your circle. Get rid of people who are toxic. Some of us, we may be surrounded by people or a certain person that we think is bringing us happiness, but if you really kind of analyze their motives and pay attention to things that they're doing, if it's hurting you in any type of way, that's probably a person that you need to let go of, or only keep them at a surface level. And that's probably a point where you want to be fake. And I'm not saying it's okay to just run around being a phony, but sometimes you have to do that with people who are toxic to you. If that person is someone that you can't completely let go, say for instance a coworker or someone you can't avoid, a close family member, you can't avoid them, keep them at a surface level. Don't let them in your inner circle. Don't let them know your true goals and your thoughts, whatever it may be. Just keep them, say hey, smile at them, and keep it moving. Sometimes that's just what you have to do. So think about things like that when you're trying to get to your happy place. Another thing, this is very important. Analyze your upbringing. Find your skeleton. What things in the past have harmed you, or made you not so much of a great person. There's unfortunately a lot of us who have issues like that, and you have regrets. Everybody does. Everybody has some skeleton. Nobody's perfect. So think about stuff like that and how it has affected you, and how you could potentially let that go at some point. Regrets, you can forget them to a certain extent, but of course, your mistakes and things like that are gonna come back to memory at some point. You can't completely ignore it, but you do need to know how to control that. Don't let that drive your entire life. Don't let that determine, what your attitude is going to be like for the rest of your life. You should be able to move on from that, write it down, let it all out, release that energy, that negative energy, and find out what you can do to just keep pushing forward and not let that hinder you in any other way. You have to really know what your weaknesses are, because things like that can affect people around you and in turn affect you. Another thing that I want to point out, treat yourself good, also treat others the way that you want to be treated. That's the golden rule. And the reason I say this is because I do believe in karma. You reap what you sow, and in turn, everything that you put out is going to come back to you. So you don't want to, be treating people bad, or having negative attitudes towards people for whatever reason it may be. Don't do anything that you wouldn't want to happen to you to other people. Um, so think about your skeletons, think about your past, and make a commitment to get rid of that hurt and not let it, carry any weight in your life. Like you want happiness. You don't want to be hurt and feeling neglected or regretting things that you've done in the past. You don't want to do that. So that's a great step towards happiness. Um, of course, find things that you love to do. That's the key thing to happiness. Find places that you like to go. Um, do that so that you can be happy. If there's things that you don't like doing and you're doing that, get away from it. If it's people around you you don't really like, and they take all of your energy away, because God knows that happens. You have people that are draining you of your energy. Stay away from things that you don't like and things that aren't so great for you. You have to find what is making you happy. So I'm gonna kind of wrap this up, but I want for you to give me your feedback, and if you have any other ideas on how to get to happiness, how to get to a happy spot, please share your thoughts with me, and I will continue to go through this whole process of happiness, because like I said, self-actualization is just one step, and you really want to find out who you are, what makes you happy, who makes you happy, what is hurting you, what is making you hurt others, because that in turn will hurt you. So really have that self-identity of who you are. That's the first step that I want to say happiness is. I hope you guys can get something from this, and I hope to hear from you. Thank you for watching. Have a blessed day.